Good evening YouTube, welcome back to Robbo's Reviews. Just realised it's been 5 months since I did a video for you guys, and it seems like a long time. I'm trying to think about what I've been doing over the last 5 months, and there's been quite a lot going on. So I've been to Thailand for 2 weeks, had a holiday there. We've obviously had Christmas, been mentally busy at work as you'd expect, and the winter nights have just meant I've either been at work or I've been at home watching telly, going to bed early. So I haven't had much going on in terms of tech that I've bought or things that I've bought to review until Christmas. So I know it's March now and it seems like a long time since Christmas. There were a few bits bought at Christmas that need reviewing, and I say need reviewing because one of the items, which I'll come to later on, seems to be a really good item from my use of it, but there doesn't seem to be any reviews on it online, and it also seems to be significantly cheaper than the competition. So I'm surprised more people haven't gone for this product. But I'll come to that in more detail because I'm going to outline some future videos that are going to come up with the reviews of these products. So what's been going on? Okay, so I can't remember the last video. Last video would have been October, November time because it's now March. So back then, and back when I first started doing videos, I had originally 2 PCs. I had my first generation Intel i7 920, 12 gigabytes of RAM and a GT 610 graphics card, 640 graphics card with a 120 gig solid state drive. It was about 9 years old and it was still an awesomely good machine on Mac OS. Not so much on Windows, but it was perfectly usable and would have been a good entry-level gaming machine. But I had that, and I had that running a single 24-inch monitor. I then had my 4th generation i7 4790K machine with 32 gig of RAM, originally GTX 970 graphics card, and 2 500 gigabyte SSDs, one with Windows and one with Mac OS. I switched the graphics card in that to an RX 570 from AMD, Sapphire Nitro Edition, because that just works better with Mac OS, which is the OS that I used predominantly, and that machine was brilliant. But it came to Christmas and one of the products I got for Christmas was a new monitor. So I was running dual screens on my main rig and I was running one screen on the first gen i7. And I just decided to build a new machine, sell the 2 old machines, sell some of the old monitors, clear the desk a bit, give myself a bit more room and see what I could get. So I sold both the machines and got decent money for them for how old they were, and they are in homes that I'm sure are enjoying them and I'm sure they're still working well for them. And I built myself a new machine, and this new machine is something that I've wanted to build for a while, but I've always had a constraint one way or the other that stopped me from doing it. So I have gone for an Intel Z390 chipset motherboard, and it's an Asus Prime Z390A motherboard. I've got 64 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 RAM, and I have the Intel i9 9900K processor, which is 8 cores, 16 threads, and that also has an M.2 NVMe solid state drive with Mac OS on it, and a solid state drive with Windows 10 on there, as well as a 2TB drive for data such as videos and things like that I'm doing. And I've put it in a case that is absolutely stunning, which is the Lian Li O11 dynamic case, which has tempered glass on 2 sides of it and just is a very stunning piece of design. I've also then put Thermaltake addressable RGB fans in there, and there are 9 of those fans in there, 3 on the bottom, 3 on the side and 3 on the top, coupled to a 360mm radiator for the all-in-one liquid cooler. It looks stunning and it runs perfectly. It's an absolute beast of a machine in terms of graphics wise. It's got an RX 580 this time, but yeah, that's what I've got now. So that is running one 35-inch ultra-wide monitor and one 24-inch normal monitor that's just mounted on the wall that's predominantly used for IPTV. So that's the big change in my setup, is the actual PC that I'm using. So I'll switch over to my iPhone and I'll show you the office setup in a moment. But before I do that, there are a few things that I will be doing separate videos for doing reviews on. One of which is going to be the monitor. So the ultra-wide monitor I've got is made by a company I'd never heard of called Electique. I don't know where they're based. They sound French, but I'm sure they're not. It's a 35-inch ultra-wide monitor. It runs at 3440 by 1440p, and this is the key bit, at 100 Hz. So the refresh rate is great. So if you've got a good enough graphics card, you'll get great frame rates when you're gaming. I'm gaming with an RX 580, which is still a good graphics card, and on really high settings on project cards, I'm still getting 90 frames a second, which is perfectly usable with no glitching or anything like that. So that's the monitor I've got. When I started looking and thinking, I want an ultra-wide monitor, I was looking at the usual suspects. I was looking at Asus, Acer, Predators, and all those sort of things, I think they're called. And then there was the Samsung options, the LG options, loads of options out there. And their starting prices were all around the £700 mark. This ultra-wide, that by the sounds of it has a Samsung panel, was 350 quid. So I kind of thought, I hope it's not going to be rubbish. I'll take a punt on it and see what it's like. I have to say, I've been really impressed. For what I use it for, it's perfect. I'm not going to say that if you're a professional photo editor or video editor that you need better colours or anything like that. I'm not going to say it's perfect for that, because I don't know what level of detail you need. For me, as an amateur gamer, amateur video editor, it does the job really well. It's also cleared up the desk a lot by getting rid of 3 monitors and going down to 1 on the desk. Ultimately, the only downside to the monitor is the stand that's on it does put the monitor quite far forward. So I'm looking for an arm to clear that desk space a little bit more. But that's something I'll figure out later on. So other things that I've got to review, obviously the PC. I'm not going to do a full review on each component. I'll give an overview on the PC and update that as we go on. A few more bits, some JBL headphones. So for Christmas, before our trip to Thailand, my wife wanted to have some headphones for the flight. She wanted Bluetooth, she wanted noise cancelling, she wanted Beats, is what she'd said. And I immediately thought, I don't want to pay the price that they charge for Beats when I don't personally think they sound that good. Personally, if I was spending that sort of money, I would probably end up going for Bose. I like the Bose stuff. I've got that around the house and I like the sound of those. But again, I just didn't want to spend that sort of money on a set of headphones that would be used on a plane journey, and that would pretty much be all they'd be used for. So I ended up going for some JBLs, and I'm actually tempted to buy another set of them for myself for using in the office when I'm gaming, because they're that good. They really are quality. I think they're about £80 and really comfortable. They're noise cancelling, Bluetooth, but you can wire them as well if the battery goes on the Bluetooth and the noise cancelling. They fold up really nicely. Just a good solid set of headphones, and the sounds are really good for the price point that they're at. So I'm going to do a full review on those, full review on the monitor, bit of an overview on the PC in a separate video. What else have I got? Yeah, so also got a new hairdryer. Clearly not for me. Mrs. Robbo wanted a new hairdryer. Hers had started going on the fritz, and of course, what did you buy? Yeah, I don't know what hairdryers are good. So doing a bit of research on the internet, and Dyson seemed to be the one that everyone recommended. Now I like the Dyson products. I've got a Dyson vacuum cleaner that you can see behind me. That's kept upstairs because that's for carpets, and that's what we've got upstairs. We've also got the Dyson cordless one that's downstairs for the wooden floors, and they're really good products. So I ended up buying her that. So I'll probably at some point get her to do a review of that, because as much as I'd like to give you my thoughts on it, I don't have hair, so I can't. The one thing I will say about it is it's a hell of a lot quieter than traditional hair dryers, but dries the hair in the same or quicker time. So that's a positive. Yeah, so there's no other tech to review at this point in time, but there are some extensive home improvements that are going to be completed. So there'll be smart tech going in there where possible. So I'll show that when we're doing that. It's a loft conversion and a kitchen refit. So there's some extensive stuff going on. So we may well take the opportunity to fit certain bits and pieces as and when we can. But what I'm going to do now is just show you the new PC and the new monitor, just to close today. And then, I'll then be looking to record the full review of the monitor, the PC, the headphones, the hairdryer, and anything else that I buy in the meantime, and get those up to you a little bit quicker than I have done with the last one. Hopefully it won't be a 5-month gap. Thanks for your patience, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers. So as I said, I switched over to the iPhone, so apologies for the audio because I know it's not as good as the desk microphones. This is now the current setup. So that is the Electeq 35-inch 3440 100Hz monitor. It's height adjustable, tilt adjustable, rotatable. Does everything that the Asus Predator does for about half the price. But I'll do a more in detailed review of that. This is the new PC. Now it looks like there's a load of fans in there, because there are. They're all at very, very low revs. They're very quiet. You can hear it on this. They do ramp up when you're gaming, as you'd expect, as the system needs to, and the AMD cards do run warmer than the Nvidia stuff does, but it's manageable. But the Lian Li case is just a lovely piece of design, I think. Obviously I've got all these lights set to blue. The only issue I have at the moment, and it's the issue anyone doing Hackintosh will face, is that the software to do these lights is made for Windows. So you have to go into Windows if you want to change the lights, and you can't do it on the fly within macOS, which is a bit of a pain. But I'm sure at some point someone will write some third-party software. Fingers crossed. But that's the current setup. So like I say, I'll do some more in detail reviews of all the products that we've bought, and update you on all of those as to how they're performing. But that's it for today, guys. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Hopefully I'll get more videos out this year with the building works and the other bits and bobs that we're doing. And I'll catch you all soon. Cheers. Bye.